Let me start with a question. Who truly controls America's foreign policy? The people or a few powerful groups? Did you know that during certain crises, the United States often takes positions that don't fully align with American public interest? So the obvious question becomes, why? Are Israel's military actions, Middle Eastern conflicts, and U.S. political reactions simply coincidental? Or are they part of a larger ecosystem of influence, lobbying, money, diplomacy, and a hidden power game? Tonight, we break it down. Step by step, we investigate how Israel's geopolitical strategy, military operations, lobbying networks, and narrative management influence the political decision-making structure inside America.
It began in 1948. Israel declared independence, and within hours, the United States became one of the first nations to officially recognize the new state. American media's early sympathy toward Israel, Cold War dynamics and the strategic importance of the Middle East, oil politics, Soviet influence versus the emerging U.S.-Israel alignment. This alliance was more than military cooperation. It was a combination of strategic necessity and deep socio-religious sentiment. But the deeper this alliance grew, the louder the debate became. Who influences whom? Every major conflict, 1967, 1973, Lebanon, Gaza, sent shockwaves directly into American politics. Every major war forces the U.S. president to take a public stand. Republicans often adopt a firm pro-Israel posture. Democrats face internal division, especially among younger and progressive voters. As conflicts escalate, media narratives inside the U.S. become increasingly polarized. Each conflict pushes the U.S. to confront the same dilemma. Do we prioritize human rights, or do we prioritize strategic alliances? And when decisions are made, they're rarely driven by the people. They're shaped by powerful centers of influence. In America, the story of war isn't only written on the battlefield. It's written in newsrooms, classrooms, and digital platforms. Mainstream media framing of Middle Eastern conflicts, social media counter-narratives, the battle between fact and propaganda, how Middle East conflicts fuel U.S. cultural and political polarization. The same event often produces two completely different interpretations. This duality shapes and divides American public opinion. And when public opinion fractures, politics fractures with it.
AIPAC, J Street, Christian Zionist networks. These are not just organizations, these are political power structures. How lobbying groups push bills through Congress, how they influence election campaigns and political funding, how lawmakers are pressured to align their votes. Behind the scenes, narrative engineering, digital lobbying, and think tank influence. There's a saying, whoever controls the narrative controls the policy. This may be the clearest example of that principle. But this raises a difficult question. Is this the strength of democracy or the weakness of it? American taxpayers spend billions of dollars overseas every year. Naturally, Americans ask, how is this money used, and why are domestic issues, healthcare, education, infrastructure, often overshadowed by foreign commitments? Debates around U.S. foreign aid to Israel, tension between domestic needs and international alliances, voters asking, why are we funding wars abroad while struggling at home? These tensions have grown so sharply that experts now say the U.S.-Israel relationship is no longer just foreign policy. It is now a central part of America's domestic political battle. Middle Eastern conflicts are no longer regional. They're tied to global power competition. Iran-Israel shadow conflict, U.S. military bases and strategic positioning, China and Russia's expanding influence in the region, how the Israel issue shapes America's global leadership and alliances. The deeper the conflict grows, the more entangled the United States becomes. But is that entanglement truly in America's long-term interest? War brings destruction, loss, and humanitarian crises. Many Americans question whether their country is supporting the right decisions. Human rights organizations reports, international law concerns, university activism and generational divides, the moral burden versus the strategic partnership. One question still remains. Does America make foreign policy decisions based on its own interests? Or is America influenced by forces that operate beyond the public eye? The U.S.-Israel relationship is layered. History, politics, religion, military strategy, lobbying, and economics, all woven together. But one truth stands above everything else. U.S. foreign policy ultimately shapes the lives and futures of American citizens, which is why questioning, understanding, and debating these relationships is not only healthy, it is essential for a functioning democracy.